Hello and welcome to the monthly Q&A for June. If you'd like to get your question answered in a Q&A like this one, then head on over to ask.fm/Sharmalade and I will do my best to answer your question as long as it's not too rude. Question number 1. What would happen if an indestructible and unstoppable force hit an equally as indestructible and immovable object? World-ending chaos nukage. If a rude question is written and removed without being read, was it ever written? Good question. You could apply that to lots of things. Like, if you die, does that mean you was never born? This question is from Sky. Which class, is that Skylo from YouTube? Maybe, who knows? Which class in WoW do you enjoy the most? I know everybody likes more than one, but when I leveled a priest I instantly fell in love with this class. After years it's still my favourite. I enjoy it the most and I try to master it. Was it similar with you and Warlock or any other? So my first character was a warrior called Shunima, and I got to like level 40, proper like new player, way back in vanilla, and I duelled a priest, shadow priest, and I could not burst their bubble, and I was like, oh my god, what is this sorcery? I need to be a shadow priest, why did I make a warrior? So I re-rolled to shadow priest, and I remember I went for years healing in shadow spec because you could, and you could use your healing spells then. And so I used to be a healer, but in shadow spec, and people used to say to me, can you go holy? And I used to be like, but why? I can heal in shadow spec. And then I went holy and was like, what was I doing? And priest was always a class that I really enjoyed playing. Like, I always felt like I was getting what I needed from being a priest, especially a healer. And so even though I had my warlock and that was my main for a while, I've never really enjoyed the warlock class, especially now. Like, I've leveled my warlock to 110, but it was a chore. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy levelling her. I'm not sure why. I just don't bond with the warlock class anymore. And I have my monk, which is a mistweaver, and she's a healer, and healing's always called to me in any game. So straight away I enjoy my monk more than my warlock. But priest was always my go-to healer, but then as soon as they introduced monk and I tried it out, I realised that I just love monk, and I have gone back to my priest during Nighthold Heroic. I went back to my priest for maybe a fortnight just to raid with her and see how the healing was in comparison to monk, and it's deeper and it's stronger, but I still love my monk so much. I love Mistweaver monk, and I've stuck with her even though they've been clunky as hell, and I will always stick with her, especially after trying out my priest and falling behind on my monk for a fortnight. As you know, like in Legion, if you fall behind it's pretty hard to play catch up, you have to do a lot of artifact farming and stuff, but monk is by far my favourite class. What got you started singing, and what would you say to someone who thinks their voice sucks since everyone else says it does? Okay, well, I don't really know what got me singing. I just used to find myself singing a lot when I was a kid, and it made me feel good. So I just carried on doing it, and I ended up joining the school choir, which was so, like, I loved it and everything, but you know, like choir songs, it's just like, oh, I just want to break out into some like badass Christina Aguilera bullshit, you know, but you can't because it's a school choir and you're singing something about like Jesus. But if people are telling you that your voice sucks and you want to be a good singer, then just keep at it, because practice makes perfect with anything, and you will get better. And just, if you really want to get better quickly, do your vocal warm-ups like every day. Take like an hour out of your day to really focus on doing them, which is something that I always give this advice, but I'm really bad at following it. And I have actually planned a week this month where I'm just going to sit down every day, and instead of doing recordings and vlogs and things like that, I'm literally just going to take care of my voice and do vocal warm-ups every day, just to really loosen and up my voice, make it a bit more flexible, get the range, you know, working for me, and just strengthening my lower and my middle and my higher, and because I don't do it enough and it is an important thing to do. So if you want to get better at singing, do your vocal warm-ups. What was the most embarrassing moment of your life? From Suki Celia Eroiza. The first thing that comes to my mind is like last weekend when we was hiring the narrowboat for the day. I don't know if you guys watched the vlog, but so there's this lock and the boats go into the lock, and what happens with the lock is it's two different levels of water. So you've got the river, the canal, and then you've got the canal here, and so there's like a lower bit, and that's where the lock is, and you go in with your boat and then they close the gates and then they fill the water, they let the water in and it goes up, and then you can carry on moving on, and vice versa. So if you want to come down, they let the water through and then you can go out the other side. So anyway, my family and I were on our narrowboat, and it's the first time that we'd ever been in a lock before, and we went to go in, and another narrowboat was coming up the side of us into the lock too, and we, you know, had no idea that you can fit two narrowboats into a lock. We just thought it was, you know, one in, one out, but it's not. And we spent about 15 minutes going diagonally and like spinning round, and just, oh my god, when I think about it, people, like one point there was this guy that was stood high up on the side of the lock looking down at me, just shaking his head, and I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing. This is probably one of the, and you can't go anywhere, it's not like you can hide, you can't get off the boat. So everyone was looking and having a good old laugh. That was pretty embarrassing, to be honest. And every time I think about it, I wince and I cringe inside. And the funny thing is we went back to the canal the next day to sort of just go and, like, you know, boat watch really, a bit nerdy. And we watched people coming in and out of the lock, and you can fit 3 boats in there. So, and the way they do it with such ease makes me want to just cry even more, because we must have just looked like absolute fools. What is your favourite colour? And this is also from Suki Celia Eroiza. My favourite colour is like maroon, brown, dark red, that kind of colour. I love deep earthy colours. I really don't like pastel colours at all, you know, like pastel pink or pastel blue. It just grosses me out. Do you prefer being too hot or too cold? Also from Suki Celia Eroiza. I prefer being too cold because it's so much easier to heat up, right? But when you're too hot, it's just uncomfortable, and especially with what I do, I can't have a fan on. Like if I want to sing and I've got a condenser mic, if I have a fan blowing on me or anywhere in the room, it picks it up on the microphone, so I can't have windows open because it picks up all the noise outside, and I can't have fans, and we don't have AC because it's the UK. Who has AC in the UK? So it just gets like super hot and uncomfortable, so definitely I'd rather be too cold any day. Who is Rowan of Moonguard? Who are you? Rowan of Moonguard is a gentleman who used to, well, he's a World of Warcraft lyricist, and he's written a lot of my World of Warcraft parodies in the past, and he's still doing it, and I'm sure we'll still collab together in the future. But he has his own YouTube channel, and you can go and look at all of the collabs that he has done with other WoW parody singers that he's written the lyrics for. So I'll put the link in the description, and you can go and see all of the songs that he's written. Oh my god, I literally just skimmed this question from Suki Celia Eroiza again, and it freaked me out. If you woke up in the middle of the night and there was a zombie battering down your door, what would you do? Oh, I swear, if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, right, I'm going to be that person that's just so annoying and like crying and gets other people killed, and everyone hates me because I'm just the one that's like, I can't do this, and then like someone runs over to save me from like a zombie, but they take the hit, and then like I hurt my ankle, maybe like sprain it, it's not even serious, and then like I'm slowing everyone down. There's like other people that have been like shot and bitten, and they're like, come on, we gotta go, and I'm like, oh, my ankle hurts though. I'm gonna be that person. Do you prefer wearing dresses and skirts or pants and leggings? Also from Suki Celia Eroiza. You loving this, loving life. I prefer wearing pants and leggings just as much as dresses and skirts. Like I don't I don't have a preference really. I enjoy wearing both, but I guess I own more leggings though, so. Oh my gosh, Sharm, your hair is amazing. Thank you. Was this before I got it cut though? My question is though, are you familiar with the story of Aladdin? If you had the magic lamp from the story, what would you ask the genie from Suki Celia Ariosi? Did I even have to say it was from that person? What would I ask the genie? So do I get 3 wishes? Because don't they get 3 wishes in it? My first wish. So okay, I think I've done this before, but I'm going to be completely selfish. So like world peace. Nah. All that, like, you know, helping other people. Just this is about my wishes, right? So 3 wishes for me. So completely selfishness. I would have a music studio with someone in it who just knows everything about music and like music engineering and just knows instantly. Like if asked, they're like, yep, know it, know the answer. How can I make my done it? You've made my voice sound, yeah, I did it. But how did you know? Because I know everything. I would want an engineer that could do that. So I'd like a studio with an engineer, all-knowing, that can mix all of my songs for me, and all I have to do is walk into the studio and they go, go on then, and I go, and they go, that's it, we're done. And then I've somehow recorded a whole song and it sounds brilliant. It sounds amazing. So that'd be my first wish. My second wish would be to have like a room, another room. None of this involves going outside. A room that like all the walls project the video game that I'm playing. This could probably already be a thing, probably somewhere like Japan, where the whole wall just projects whatever video game I'm playing in like a whole 360, and my mind is the video controller, so if I sort of turn, then it recognises that I'm turning, and if I want to sort of kill a boar, I can equip my weapon just by thinking it, and then if so I could have like keybinds as well, so if I want to attack it with like say arcane shot, is that even a thing anymore, arcane shot, then I would just think press 1 or 1 and it would shoot arcane shot at the boar. So like is it telepathic? A telepathic 360 wall projected video game would be my second wish. And my third wish would be to have a sausage dog. I saw one last weekend when I went to this cafe and I've always wanted a sausage dog. Okay, so but also included in that wish would be that Maggie's cool with other dogs because she's so not, so I would never be able to get another dog currently, but I would like it for my third wish that Maggie is cool with other dogs and I can get a sausage dog, like, but not just one, like a few sausage dogs. I'd love that. Favourite Disney princess, also from Suki. So I guess it would probably have to be Ariel because I grew up. Oh no, actually it could be Belle though. It's a tie between Belle and Ariel because Ariel was all about her songs in that film were brilliant. Like, and you know when when Ursula wants to take her voice and she has to do the that bit. Oh my god, I love that part of the film. I love how it sounds. I love the quality of the animation in that part. It's so beautiful as well. I just love the whole tragic kind of story of it. And Beauty and the Beast, at the end, you know, when the Beast is kind of dying, and oh my god, I actually got a bit emotional then. I just love that film and I love the music in that too. So it's a tie really between Belle and Ariel. Burial! So this is the last question I think from Suki, so I might as well make it the end of the Suki Celia Ariosi dedicated Q&A. Tell us the 3 things you hate most, please. So I guess one thing that really gets on my tits is when, and this has happened recently as well, when you're playing a video game and someone's just a dick and there's not really any reason for it. They're just really dickish, you know, and they're just having a go at people for no reason. An example, Ian came to bed the other night, a little bit bothered about a situation that happened on WoW, and you know when you say to yourself, I'm not going to get worked up about people that have got weird attitude problems in a game, I'm just going to sit here silently, I'm just going to heal or DPS or do whatever I'm doing, I'm not going to respond, I'm not going to take it on board. Well, Ian and his team ran into the dungeon and started killing stuff, and they realised that it was on heroic and they meant to do mythic, so I don't know what happened there. They all ran out apart from Ian, who stayed behind to kill like a mob that was on him just because he thought it would be quicker to just kill it and then leg it out because it was slowing him down and doing shit. So he killed this mob, and everyone had gone into mythic and had made it to the first boss in the time that it had taken him. So I can understand actually why this guy got pissed off, but it's the way he went about it, right? He just wrote in the chat something along the lines of, "Priest, are you thick or something? Where are you?" And I think it's that kind of attitude, that bullshit sort of bullshit where they just call your names and treat you like dirt. There's like an etiquette, I think, when it comes to communicating with someone, and generally I would have thought it would be along the lines of, "Are you okay, priest? You seem to be having some difficulties, you know, what's happening?" But why is it that some people in video games are so bullshit and they're just like, "You're thick," or "What the fuck are you doing?" or like caps lock, engaged to the max, just screaming like crazy stuff, because it makes me really concerned about these people in real life. Like if they're that fired up, you know, it concerns me about their kind of personality outside of the game. But it's not very often that I get irked by people in game, but it has happened and I have wanted to rage quit afterwards. I'm trying to think of two other things that I hate, but I'm having a bit of difficulty. I guess people who don't pick up their dog's poo kind of annoys me, especially if it's like where I'm walking, because I just think, how can you not see that massive poop on the floor? It's so massive, and people are walking, this is a path, and there's probably children and other dogs that are going to like run in that and then run it through a house somewhere, you know, because you didn't pick your dog's poop up. That kind of irks me a little bit. I hate druid healers, it's got to be said. I get very perplexed with druid healers. I have a druid healer, I boosted her to 100 and then levelled her to 110 just to find out why their healing is so OP right now. And I understand there has to be a hero class when it comes to healers and DPS and tanks, but druids, I don't get it, right? Because they just press tranquility, and say this is me and the other healer in a raid healing. I'm purple, the other healer's blue, no, pink, right? So that's our healing, and this is the druid, like that. They're not doing anything, they just stood there looking around, looking up at the, you know, awesome scenery, and then they press tranquility. Like, bearing in mind, myself and this other healer are just really spamming, working hard. We're healers working, and this druid presses tranquility and it goes like that on the healing meters, and then anything I do doesn't really make a dent after that. I don't like that. I would go as far as to say that I hate that. So I think I do hate druid healers. So that is it for this month's Q&A. It was a Q&A dedicated to Suki Sulia Ariois, and I can dedicate one to you as well if you go and ask me some questions on my Ask.fm account. The link to it is ask.fm/Sharmalay. Don't be too rude, but you know, you can ask what you want. It's not, you know, tied down to gaming or anything. You can be generic if you want. But have a wonderful week, and I will see you for the next monthly Q&A soon. Take care, bye!